Well, here we are again, out and about in Stoke-on-Trent. Where are we today, Clem?
Where are we today? Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the glorious Fort Greene Museum. Come and take a butchers. So here we are, it's a glorious day here in Stoke-on-Trent. And we're here at Fort Greene Museum. And do you know what we could do with, Dave?
Go on.
We could do with, I don't know, like a tour guide. Somebody from the era for when this house was built. Here's a tour guide.
How are you doing?
Hello there, sir.
Come in.
Thank you very much. Here we are at Fort Greene Hall. What can you tell us? Tell us all about Fort Greene Hall and what's great about it.
Fort Greene Hall is great because it's representing a ordinary yeoman's house from pre-industrial history of the area. Built in 1624 for the Ford family, who were wealthy dairy farmers.
What's Bottle and Daub?
Bottle and Daub is, well, you see in between the timbers, the white areas there, it's actually either laths of oak split or like a basket work of willow or hazel rods. And basically it's covered in a mix of stuff called the daub.
Yeah.
The basket work's the wattle. In the daub you've got mud, clay, straw, horsehair, horse poo,
Fair.
cow poo,
Yeah.
and maybe depending
So
on what
anything
area,
sticky to cram it together.
Depending on what area you're in, sometimes they put a bit of pig's or chicken's blood in it
Nice.
to make it a bit stickier.
Fair. Is this all the original fireplace?
No, that's the original fireplace. Would have been one of the great big Inglewood ones
Yeah.
with chains hanging down and pots
Yeah.
and pans and things, because they'd actually cook in this room originally before the other bits were built. That's bought here in the 1950s when the house was restored.
Yeah.
And it's actually from Alton Towers,
Oh, is it? The
Yeah.
castle?
from the castle. Yeah.
Ah. Yeah. A little local trivia
And it
for you.
cost
there.
£6 in 1952.
It cost £6 in 1952.
Yeah.
What's that made from? Stone?
It's some kind of marble. I can't remember the name of the marble, but it is a black marble.
So the original hall here of Fort Greene Hall, what would this hall have been used for?
This is the hall. This is the main room of the house, and it kind of echoes the great halls in castles at the time when all the household would come and congregate, eat a meal together, sit by the fire, having a beer, singing songs, telling stories, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's the main room of the house. It's the hub of the house.
Yeah.
A household at the time isn't just the family, Mr. and Mrs. Ford, and their kids. It's servants as well and older relatives. So you could have up to about 20, 25 people living here at one time.
Crikey. What else can you show us?
We can show you, actually, we've got some of the carpenter's marks here on the walls. There we go.
So would that have been, if you will, like the Nike tick? So that would have been the branding of the carpenter?
They're numbers to follow.
Oh!
When the house is sort of manufactured, the pieces are made in the carpenter's yard. He will lay each piece flat on the floor, make sure it all fits together, pull it all apart, bring it here and build it. But before he pulls it apart, he'll carve numbers on each piece.
Right, I got you.
1624, they don't use numbers like we use today, they use Roman numbers. So we've got X, which is 10. Well, that goes into 10. That piece goes into there. 11, 11, and so on. So basically, the guy that's done that, he's just picked up a curved gouge.
Yeah.
Which is why the X's are curved. Outside, there are some straight ones.
Yeah.
So that guy picked up a straight chisel and did it.
The original IKEA?
Exactly right.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What else is around?
We'll go through this way, and this is the Georgian kitchen. We're in the Georgian part of the house now, so you're kind of travelling through time now. So there's four phases of building at Fort Greene Hall. We've got the tea room through there, which is the original separate kitchen. In the early 18th century, it becomes fashionable to have a separate kitchen.
Right, yeah.
So you don't cook in your living room anymore. So they build that on there. 1728 for that bit, 1734 for this bit. So this is a little bit later. This either replaces a timber wing or it's a completely new part of the house.
Yeah.
We're not quite sure. But we know that this has been used as a kitchen at some point as well. So we've got this one set up as a Georgian kitchen. Again, the fireplace would have been that whole area there.
It wouldn't have just been that small fireplace, it would have been that whole fireplace.
A lot of the fireplaces have been changed, rooms have been changed, because by the 19th century, heading to the 20th century, the house is split up into 4 different cottages.
Right.
First 3, then 4. The Fords move out in 1803. The male line dies out, so women at the time can't inherit property, so they have to sell up and go. It's just not allowed.
Leads back to the earlier podcast, the earlier show, around Molly Lee.
Exactly, yeah. She's a contemporary of the house.
Yes.
So, we've got this set up for a bit of a meal, a bit of a preparation room. This is your original kitchen island.
It's the strangest meal I've ever seen. It's fish, nuts and pheasants.
There's game there's all sorts.
With a wedding cake.
With a wedding cake.
Or a Christmas cake, they look like reindeers.
Yeah, it's a Christmas cake. It was left over from the so as I was saying, 3 phases of building at the house. The first phase is in the middle room there, 1624. Then they had this part, the porch, in around 1630 to 1650. Then the 2 brick wings that we just talked about. So this is the original front door at some point.
Oh.
So it's just the same as today. You get a bit of extra money, you build a nice porch on the front of your house, it's imposing, it makes the house look grander, and it's somewhere to take your muddy boots off, and you can pull the curtain across and keep the drafts out of the hall and keep the hall warm. So we've got the carpenter's name, Rafe Sutton Carpenter.
Have you done research into Rafe?
We know that he probably built somewhere called Trenton Priory, which is,
really?
I don't know if it's still there or not, but we don't know much more about him.
Yeah.
Other than he was probably a local guy.
And a good carpenter.
And a good carpenter, because it's still here.
It's still here.
Yeah, so
That's
your early 17th century advertising.
Yeah.
That's your Arctic.
That's your Arctic. That's your branding.
That's your Arctic, yeah. The windows there are probably they are original windows. Most of the windows in the hall, when the house was first built, would probably be that big. Glass was expensive at the time. Over the years, glass gets cheaper, so that's how they can build the bigger windows that we've got today later on. So this is called the buttery chamber. All the rooms above take the names from the rooms below. Now below us now is the modern toilets, but before they were put in, it would have been what they call the buttery, which is where they would keep, it's like their larder, right, basically.
Okay.
The word buttery comes from the French word bouteille, which is bottled goods, wet goods and things like that. So we've set this room up a bit more like a sort of a medicine and superstition room, really. You've got a display there of the wise women, witches and superstition. You've got the plague doctor in the corner. And you've got some lovely surgeon's tools in the chest down here.
Is this, I know it might be a silly question, is this the original floor, do we know?
Pretty much, I would say. I mean, there are some repairs throughout the house, but this looks like the original floorboards.
That is some solid carpentry.
That is wood floor.
And there's no sneaking around.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So this is a replica of a bed from 400 years ago. It's called a joined bed, and it's a different colour to the furniture in the rest of the house. It's hard to imagine that when all that dark furniture downstairs and all the dark timbers were new, it was meant to be this colour. and sometimes it was even picked out in bright colours as well. So back then they're interested in bright colours. They may even have whitewashed the timbers inside as well as the white bits there. We used to see in this sort of arrangement, but they could equally have been whitewashed. The oak goes dark over the years on its own, just from dirt and polish and things like that.
Yeah.
This bed has got a straw mat underneath all the mattresses, and it's all held up by ropes. So every now and again, when you've slept on the bed, the ropes will stretch and sag. It'll go like that in the middle. So you have to undo the knot, pull the ropes tight again. So it could give rise to the phrase "good night, sleep tight." I don't know for sure. And the rest of the rhyme, mind the bed bugs don't bite. Well, I always thought it was the bed bugs crawling in the bed, but when you tighten the ropes up, you have to have a tool, a wooden bar that goes in, you twist the ropes tight. I did learn the other day that could possibly be called a bed bug. So don't leave the bed bug in the bed.
Yeah.
Because it's uncomfy.
Yeah. Oh, no.
All these sayings do have to be taken with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Room in the house, and we can see that the windows have been made bigger. We talked about the glass being expensive in the past. Well, obviously these were put in when glass was cheaper. We've got a nice Georgian fireplace over there. You might be able to just make out the painting there with the swag of fruit.
Oh yeah.
So we use this generally for the school visits. We've just done Rich and Poor this morning and Objects this afternoon.
Do you get many school visits?
Yeah, we're quite fortunate that we do get quite a lot of visits.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're very busy with schools. Kind of peters off in summer.
Yeah.
But we do the events in summer, hoping to get more visits. And
I'd imagine, especially for the little kids, they love it up here.
yeah, they loved it this morning,
and
dressing up and
dressing
stuff,
up and everything.
Yeah.
And like you say, with the windows and whatnot, it's not as dark as the rest of the house. And, yeah, I think if when I was a little kid, I probably would have loved it up here as well. Getting involved as much as Cleon wants me to get involved now and put the big costumes on.
So this is the hall chamber, and this is actually probably the one piece we've got from the Ford family. So this is a Bible box, and it used to be a plaque that hung over the front door. So we've got FHM, not the magazine, Hugh and Marjorie Ford, 1624. That's when the house was built, and it was flanked either side by two of these stars.
Star of David.
I'm not sure. I don't think it is the Star of
that's
David.
right.
It was explained to me by a boffin a few months back. I can't remember what it means. Some of your viewers probably do. So
leave a comment. You know what that is.
So when the Fords move out, they take this plaque with them. It disappears for a long time, and in the 1990s, when the Ford family sort of reunited, because they're from all over the globe now, they bought this back, and in the meantime, it had been turned into this Bible box.
Right.
So it was presented back to the hall. So now we have got something that was owned by the Ford
So
family.
this front bit would have been the plaque.
Yeah.
The back bit would have been
two
next
stars
to it,
either
like,
side,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Over the
they've had
front
it converted into the Bible box.
That's right, yeah. So we've got some more furniture there. We've got the tester bed. I'll just jump over the ropes. So the tester is the top and the back. It comes from the Middle Ages when people are sleeping in little huts. Well, not huts, but houses where there's no upstairs. They might be sleeping under the thatch.
Right.
So if you, like most men, on your back, mouth open, snoring, things could drop in your mouth from the thatch. Mouse poo, bits of straw. So what they do is they stretch a cloth over the bed, just suspended by wires from the bed. It's just an ordinary piece of cloth, of course. Richer folk, they want one as well, but they have to have a really nicely embroidered one. Mm-hmm. And then they start to suspend curtains down the sides from the wires. Eventually, it turns into this bed, which is a tester bed. roughly a third of a family's wealth goes into owning a bed like this back then.
Wow.
It's really, really expensive.
Still does. Have you seen Emma mattresses?
So this would have been strung just like the other bed with the ropes across. It's been changed at some point. It's got slats now, but originally it would have been ropes. Now this is a local piece. It was somewhere in Norton Green at one point, and it was donated to the hall. There is there was a teacher. She's retired now, but she still comes with school from St Mary's, Mrs Clark, and she belonged to the family. Well, this bed belonged to her family. So whenever she comes, she tells tell the kids the story. Her mum was born in this bed.
Wow.
And there is a secret compartment. You just pull the carving to one side. There we go. You can keep stuff in there. It may be valuables. You might have a snack in there, because back then it's common to wake up in the middle of the night for an hour or so, have something to eat, have a drink, have a chat, read a book or something like that. So then they go back to what they call their second sleep. If you're going to bed when it goes dark, well, you'll still have a little bit of time talking and having a beer before you go to bed. In the winter, it's too long in bed. Nobody needs 13 hours sleep. So you get up in the middle of the night and you have 2 sleeps.
Sounds ideal, in all fairness. Like, I could do with a little sleep right now.
Midnight snack?
Yeah.
So this would be the parlour. It's the main room of the, well, not the main room, but it's the private room of the Ford family. The word parlour comes from the French word parler, to have a chat, to have a talk. So very few people would be allowed in here. Maybe the odd servant to clean. Definitely keep the kids out here. And you might entertain your important guests in this room, because you probably had one of those beds in this room.
Oh, right.
So you can show it off to your guests.
Oh.
It's a bit like having the big TV on the wall.
Is that
It's
the
just
Tudor
status.
equivalent of
Just
putting
status,
dunking the bed in the middle of it?
Dunk the bed in the middle of the room. Yeah.
And is these stars, I've just leaned to end these stars, so are these stars what you would have found either side of the Bible book?
They could be related to that kind of thing. Yeah, they're what we call apotropaic symbols. They're basically to keep witches and evil spirits out of the house.
White magic.
If you shut the doors, if you put the shutters across, the only way they can get in is down the chimney.
And that's why it's on the chimney.
And that's why they're on the chimney. Yeah.
Oh, no, I get that.
1987 was the very last flood at Ford Green Hall.
Yeah.
It rained and rained for the weekend. The river burst its banks. The lake at the back of the hall all came into the hall. So it flooded. It flooded. So there's a mark on the wall there. I'll just show you the little plaque. There's the water level in the house.
You remember that, don't you, Cleon?
I do remember that. So I went to St Mary's primary school, or St Mary's RCA, and in 1987, I would have been a whole 7 years old. So there you go, you can carbon date me now. And we were part of the clean-up crew. So health and safety, as we were giggling outside, would never have allowed this way back when. So as a child, so I'd like to lean into the parents and throw a thank you out there, guys. We were here brushing the water out from what I thought was just nice, clean rainwater. But apparently,
Everything.
not so much. Yeah. Which explains my 12 fingers. So, really popular question, I get asked it a lot around Ford Green Hall. Is this place haunted?
Yeah.
Okay. You've kind of...
Yes.
Brilliant.
There's something.
There's something.
I've a lot of us have heard footsteps, and I have seen a cat in the kitchen. Far kitchen.
You've seen... They just seem to survive.
Yeah. It was there, and then it wasn't there.
Really?
Yeah. It was when I was tidying up early morning. I hadn't unlocked any of the doors, and the cat just shot under my feet and disappeared.
Have we done any paranormal investigations in here?
There's been quite a few, yeah.
Oh, have there?
And some of them do pick up on a cat. And there is one of my colleagues has seen a cat as well, and it is the same colour cat. So yeah.
What colour is it?
Black and brown, long-haired tabby.
I mean, that's really specific as well.
Do we know? Just while we're on the subject, it doesn't fall in my belief guide. Is that the same? Do we know if that's the same cat as what the Fords had,
Could be.
or it could be from any of the families?
Probably numerous cats.
Yeah.
At the time because of the rats.
No, I wasn't expecting a blank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't see-through. It wasn't shining or anything. It was just an ordinary cat.
Didn't have a halo glowing behind its head. No, sorry, just a question, because it's an old building.
Yeah.
A really old building.
Yeah.
So it was just
people have seen other things as well. There's a guy at the top of the stairs apparently that sort of looks down, frowning with his hands like that. But the cat's the only thing I've seen. But we do regularly hear footsteps. If you're downstairs in the hall, going along the hall chamber floor above. And they're proper, it's not wood settling or anything like that. It's proper leather shoes like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
If I remember which cave.
I've got the keys.
So, what are your... I'm just talking nonsense, give me a second. So, here at 4 Green Hall, what are your opening times? What is price of admission, and what do you do here?
Okay, we are open Sunday to Thursday, 1 till 4 o'clock. Last admission's 3:30. Top price for an adult is £5.50, then it drops to £4.50 for concessions. Children are £3, and I think a family is around £14.
Let's do this again.
We'll do this again.
Right, let's do it again.
£15.
I can't see that far. Age's done that thing where it just messes with your eyes.
Do that Sean Bean in the Council of Elrond.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
The script
Right,
there,
let's do that again. Right. So, 4 Green Hall. What are your opening times? What's your admission prices?
So we are open Sunday to Thursday, 1 till 4. Last admission's 3:30. The prices are full paid adults are £5.50, concessions £4.50, children £3, families £15, and under 5s are free.
And also you've got you've got a great tea bar here where you can get your teas, your Earl Greys, your green teas, your hot chocolates, your ground coffees, your cappuccinos, your lattes, and your bottled water. We've got the inside of the tea room here, and then we've got the great gardens outside.
Yeah, you can use the tea room anytime the hall's open. There's no charge to come into the tea room. You don't have to look through the hall. You can just use it as grab a cup of coffee when you've been around for a walk around the lake or something like that.
Perfect.